doing some very nice luxury apartment maintenance. We're replacing some worn out switches and outlets. Here in the country I was born in, we use a 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, the white is neutral, the berry green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors, however, you may find white live in a switch loop or a 220-240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So I'll show you how to replace some switches and outlets here in the country I was born in. And this house is in Onondaga County. It has very nice surroundings to it, as you can see out the two windows here. And I'll show you out the other window the beautiful house that's next door. You can see all the nice pretty fall leaves. So there's a beautiful home next door here. So this switch got banged into. It didn't sound quite right. And also you want to get a nice matching one in here so it looks nice too. The side of the switch is broken off along here too. And we have some pretty old wire coming to the switch, so you gotta be careful with the wires. Oh, they just tucked the wire under the screw head and tightened it. That's not a good connection. See how they did that? That's not good. So we'll strip our wires just a little bit longer here. I'll make sure I don't get all the paper in here. I would destroy everything. This isn't aluminum, this is a tinned copper. And this wire probably goes back to close to the turn of the century. I don't want to bend the wire because I'm afraid I'll crumble the insulation. Make sure it's tight. Make sure it's tight. Jump it out of here. I'll take this metal clamp out of here because we don't need that sharp edge back in there. And we'll just put our switch back into the wall here. So we were able to do that without bending the wires too much, because if you bend that cloth and rubber, wire will just crumble, then you have a bare wire, then you have a problem. So I was able to do it. It was nice to have the wires long enough where I could take them out and put the new switch in without bending the wire and crumbling the insulation. Now when they paint, they gotta take this cover off. Well, they got a pretty sloppy connection behind this outlet here. I'm gonna make sure it's off. Wow, look how they put the wire on. The insulation is up here. Your insulation is supposed to come in here and go around the screw. Let's see what they did on the white. More like that there, but that's a pretty sloppy connection. So we're gonna take this off. These are self-grounding outlets because they're using the wire mold as the ground. So we'll close the screws we're not using. Okay, we'll twist these strands together here. And we'll get a piece of insulation from down here and see if I can bring it up towards the top. But if I can't, I can't. I won't frustrate. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. So I'll just have to do second best. I'll twist my strands really tight here. I'll do the same with the white wire. Okay, we'll put our wire, we'll put your screw around the wire around the screw this way. It does have this nice little hook up here to catch your wire. Make sure it's tight like that. There's a good connection. Around here, we'll get our wire, bring it around. I don't want to get any insulation under the screw head, so I bring my wire around like this. There we go. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now we can screw it into our box. Now our wires are coming in below the screw head, so I don't have to worry about the screws hitting the wires. Okay, there's one done. Make sure my handle's tight. Okay. Let's see how to hook this one up. This one doesn't look too bad. They got a lot of the strands sticking out, frayed out over here. See how they're all frayed up here? I'll show you what I like to do when I have a lot of wires like this. I like to pigtail solid wires, so I'll clip a piece of 14 here, pull our black and white out. our strands twisted together here. Get our insulation even at the bottom. Get our solid wire up here, the copper even at the top and the insulation even at the bottom here. And we'll get our yellow wire nut and we'll get all 3 wires, get our insulation going up into the bottom of that cap there. And we'll just keep twisting until it's all nice and tight. I'll look down inside the wire nut, make sure everything's all inside the way we want it. Make sure it's tight. And I'll do the same with our red wires. We'll get our strands twisted together here. Clip our strands. Get our insulation even at the bottom and our copper even at the top. See, I gotta clip that solid wire just a little bit more. Now they're all the same length there. Get my wire nut on here. Okay, now we got our tails all together. Get our wire nuts into our box here. And now we'll hook our new outlet up. Now they're using the wire mold as a ground. So we're just using the self-grounding outlets and it bonds it to the box. So our live wire goes to the brass screw. Make sure it's tight like that. And now we'll do our live wire. You always put your wire around the screw the direction the screw turns. There it is. Black goes on the brass screw or the red. The narrow slot. The white goes on the silver colored screw, and that's the wider slot. And the ground goes to the green screw, and it bonds through the strap and goes to the U-shaped hole. So we can stick our outlet back into our box here. Make sure it's tight. Make sure it's tight. Our wire nut's not pinched to there. No, it isn't. Put our cover back on. And now we'll go down to our next one. So here's where they hooked up to the older wiring, I think. Yep, they have the older wiring in here, I think. Okay, so they have an old wire. They have the old wire here, and wow, look at that wire's not even under the screw head all the way there, see? Right there, there's some copper from the wire. I'll take this off. We'll do this one at a time so we don't forget which color, which one is the live and which one is the neutral. So we'll, oh, that screw wasn't even tight. So we'll hook this up with a black wire pigtail here. We'll cut another tail off of our Romex here. So we'll strip our end off here. Here in the country I was born in, we use wire nuts most generally. They do have Wagos, but they're a lot more expensive than the wire nuts. Okay, so let's undo this. Now I don't want to bend this wire around too much because it's old and brittle. Okay, there's one. And there's our stranded wire. Get our strands twisted out here. I'm going to see if the insulation will go up into the bottom of the cap here. Yeah, well. So I'm going to strip this the same length as the others here. Okay. Yeah, I'll clip this just a little bit shorter. Get our insulation the same length here. Get our red wire up here. See how I get all our insulation in copper even here? And I'll just take my wire nut, I'll just start twisting it in. Okay, there's our live wires. Now I'll get our neutral wires here. Now here is something you never do. You never take your ground wire and jump it off the white. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I take this off of here. See how they jump from the white side over here to the green screw to ground to make a fake ground? You never do that. Because if you lose the neutral, then your ground will become a path and it can go through you and give you a dangerous electrical shock. So you want to leave this ground here that's going back through the conduit that the older wire is coming up through. Okay, let's see if we get that. Okay, that's about the same length. Here's our white wire. We'll get our white wire out here. We'll strip it about the same length there. That looks about the same length. Okay, so we'll get our insulation lined up here. Get our copper even at the bottom here. And get our insulation even up here. So let's take our wire nut. Get them going into here. Oh, I gotta hold it back further. There it is. There, copper's even on the bottom. I'll take my wire nut. I'll just twist it in here. And I see the insulation is going up into the bottom of the wire nut there. And now we'll just very carefully fold these wires, put the wire nuts back into our box here. And now we'll hook our wires to our new outlet. Okay, so we'll put our white on the silver colored screw. You always put your wire around the screw. Oops, I cut it too long. Let's take a little bit off here. You always put your wire around the screw, the direction that the screw turns. Make sure it's tight like that. Our white is on the silver screw. Flip it around, now get our black wire on the brass colored screw. I didn't mean to strip that one too long. I'll just close our loop. And there we go. I'm just going to make sure we don't have any wires not way up here. We don't. Now we got wires coming in through the bottom here, so I'm going to have to shorten the screw up so we don't hit the wires going through this wire mold on the bottom here. Because this wire mold is in the middle here, so we're going to use our screw cutter here. There, we cut off. Now our screw's nice and short, so I don't have to worry about hitting the wire. Well, if you can't, you can't. You don't get upset. You don't frustrate. You don't curse your Heavenly Father. I'll just use a cover screw. Because your Heavenly Father has feelings. If you curse him, it hurts his feelings. So you just praise him and worship him. And the screw I cut, I'll put the cover on with. So we are done with the first bedroom. Oh, okay, this is all newer wiring here. So. And again, they did this. You don't jump your you don't ground with your white wire. See, they ran a jumper to the green screw to ground the box. That is not code. You have to keep the neutral and the ground separate. Plus, you don't put stranded wire in these pressure back stabs. So you can see how they cheated to get a ground. You never do that. Now we'll see if we can take this box off here and tighten that back plate up a little bit. If there's nothing to screw to, there's nothing, so we're gonna try. Let's see if there's something up here to screw into. Again, if there's nothing, there's nothing. Let's see. There's nothing, 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 nothing. So if there's nothing, there's nothing. You don't get frustrated, just deal with it. You can be thankful. Absolutely nothing you can do. So if there's nothing, there is nothing. We can and let's see if this screw down here is in anything solid. That one seems nice and solid. So we'll be thankful for the little bit we do have, rather than complaining about what we don't have. This box all got banged up. So what we'll do is we'll make pigtails to go to our outlet. Comes the same evenness here. Draw our insulation and copper even here. Take our wire nut, we're going to start twisting them. Make sure it's nice and tight here. Make sure all insulation's down inside the wire nut, which it is. You can twist them together like this too. Get the copper even at the top and the insulation even at the bottom. How come it's not tightening? You don't frustrate, you just go back and do it again. You know what? You don't frustrate. Because what will that accomplish? Absolutely nothing. Now it's tightening up nice, see? Okay, tightened up nice. Okay, we have our black and our white. Now we put our box back on here. Make sure it's nice and tight. I'm in the track on both sides here. I'm on the track on this side. Okay, so we might have to just get some silicone or some caulk and put that around there to give it some more stability. Because you can't win everything all the time. Because when there's nothing to screw to, you know what? There's nothing to screw into. So you just be thankful for what you got. Thankful you have something to screw at least 1 inch. Okay, we'll close the screws we're not using. Let's see if it's all. Okay, so we get our white wire on the green screw. or on the silver screw, not the green screw. The black one on the brass screw. There it is, nice and tight. Now I'm going to take the screw here and make sure, now this box is a little deeper than the other one, but I'm going to make sure it's not going to hit the wires. Okay, it's going to give the wires clearance, so we don't have to cut these. So we go down, back up, and just put this back in here like this. Make sure it's tight, tight. That wire, that one's not pinched, that one's not pinched. No, make sure it's not pinched. No, it's not pinched. Cover back on. So let's see what we got on this one here. They got the insulation caught under the screw head on this one here. Same with that. See all that insulation they got under the screw head? That's no good. Same with right there. See how they got all that insulation under the screw head? And that screw wasn't very tight. See how the screw is pressing down on the insulation? That interferes with your connection. Same with that one. See how the screw head there was pushing on the insulation instead of the copper? That was making a poor connection. So we'll strip this a little longer here. close the green screw because we're not going to be using it. And we'll get our wires, strands twisted together right here. Okay, so first we'll put our white wires around the silver colored screw, and we'll make sure we don't get our insulation under the screw head like they did the first one they put them in. There's one. Put our other one over here. I lost a strand, but you know what? You don't frustrate, because frustrating won't bring it back. So you just go without. Okay, so get all our strands around there nice and tight. Come on in, Sandra. How are you? Make sure it's nice and tight like that. Like that there. We'll get our red wire, we'll put it around our grass colored screw. Make sure our insulation doesn't get caught under the screw head there. Make sure it's tight. And our insulation is not under, I've got to pull that up just a smidgen, because it is kind of close there, so I'll just bring it back a bit like that. I'll hold it back here so I don't, there we go, we got a nice connection like that there. Get it under here, get our third one. Make sure it's nice and tight like that. And how you doing, Sandra? Good, I'm just replacing some outlets over here in this apartment.
I've never been in this apartment before.
Oh, yeah, feel free to come in and look around.
Let me see what it's like.
I am recording my video. So how is your job going?
So I was working at OMP. Oh, there you are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was working at OMP and they let me go due to a lack of work.
Oh, okay, that's what happened with me, but I go back tomorrow because a lot of my parts came in.
Uh-huh.
So I go back tomorrow for a while.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm getting as much done here as I can, then I'll just do a little bit here and there after my job, and So, where are you working now? Just at.
So that it's kind of good because I was gonna lose my disability if I kept working at OMP full time.
Oh.
So this way, I just keep my disability.
Yeah.
And I'm working at Taco Bell.
Oh, good.
So, the thing with Taco Bell is that they've been saying that during the winter time, I'm in the hospital, so I have to pay all the bills.
Yeah.
And I need 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm on disability, so I can't work more than 24 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
But Taco Bell is saying that in the wintertime when it's slow, they're going to be sending me home early.
Oh.
And she goes, you won't have to worry about that here.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking of working at Walmart, but I wanted to talk to you about how it is like going out there in the winter time.
Yeah, it is kind of rough. It would be rough riding up there in the wintertime.
So, I mean, is it possible or is it impossible?
Well, it would be impossible on days when the long sidewalk isn't plowed.
When the long sidewalk isn't plowed?
Yeah. Oh, I want to say something. I'm like, see that insulation? See how they got that under the screw head? That is no good. I'll bring the camera down close and show you that. See how that insulation is under the screw head there?
Every day.
Uh-huh.
There's nobody that can give me a ride.
What about paying a taxi?
That kind of wouldn't make any sense because the budget that I'm on, like I have to work 20 hours a week in order to get all the bills paid.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't make sense to work 20 hours a week at Walmart and be paying a taxi $10 or $20 a day.
No, it wouldn't be $20. It'll be about
$14 a day.
No, it wouldn't be that much. Going to Walmart, I think, is like $5 each way, so it'll be like $10 a day. Back and forth. I'm not sure if it's. Yeah, I think it's about $5 each way.
Have you gone out there much during the winter?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Do you ever just ride on the street?
Yes, but it's not very good if like you probably get out at 4 and it'll be dark riding home, and I don't like riding on that dark road at night.
What if I got myself a really good flashlight for my bike?
But the thing is, the battery could go dead on you, you know?
No, I'd make sure that I have batteries, like extra batteries and stuff like that, so that I always have one. Just get one that's mounted to the bike.
Oh, okay,
like a good one.
That would be a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So is John coming in a little bit?
Yep.
Good.
I'm gonna pay him rent.
Good. So.
Yeah, but I don't know, Billy might be coming home in December, we'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll see what the judge says.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, they might try to, because he's not taking the medication that they want him to. So apparently he has schizoaffective with bipolar disorder.
Oh, yeah.
And they want him to take all these antipsychotics and things like that. And he will only take one pill for insomnia, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're saying that he's not being compliant. And they might be trying to send him away long term, like for years, in this secure facility in Albany.
But if they know they are married.
Yeah, I talked to his lawyer. She talked to him the other day and said.
What about talking to his parents?
He doesn't have any parents, hon. His parents died and stuff.
Oh.
His stepfather is not really involved. Like they text, but that's it. They never see each other or talk about
Yeah.
anything like that.
Oh, okay. So how do you like the wiring I'm doing, replacing all these outlets?
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Replacing all the outlets?
Yeah, see all those, look in the other bedroom, I put all new outlets in that bedroom.
Which way is the other bedroom?
Going back towards the room he came in. The door he came in there. Alright.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
See the older ones on the floor that are all painted up? He's probably gonna repaint it.
Oh.
I enjoy helping him. Oh, guess what? He liked that dinner over at the Baptist church.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, Daniel took me to court, so I was waiting for him because he was at the pick and pull trying to get parts for this lady's car that he's fixing.
Oh.
And I was getting hungry, I was waiting, and finally I just decided to get a couple pieces of pizza.
Oh, you missed on some really good spaghetti and a nice visit with John at the dinner.
Dang. Well, I better get over and count my rent money and get it all set for John.
Mm-hmm.
So you think if I had a bike light, it would be possible in the winter time?
But now, if it's really bad out, I would have to probably call in and cancel work, like saying that you can't if the weather's too bad. But let your supervisor know that you're going to be riding a bike.
Okay. All right.
No, I ride a bike to my job, but it's only about a mile from my house.
Mm-hmm. How far is Walmart?
I would say
2
about
miles?
a mile and a half, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you going to be doing at Walmart?
Huh?
What are you going to do at Walmart?
Being a cashier.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Midday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for the background check to come.
Oh.
I'm getting a little scared because you don't think that it's really that good of an idea to be riding a bike that far in the winter time.
Oh.
So I don't know. I'm gonna talk to them about it when they call and let them know the truth and see what they think. Because I know that sometimes they have kind of like rules where, especially within your first 90 days,
Yeah.
they don't want you calling out,
Right.
you know, and if you do, you could get terminated.
But if they know you ride a bike and the weather's too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Because I don't know which would be worse, to stay at a job where I got definitely to be sent home early when it snows out.
but now you get unemployment though.
No, I don't get unemployment. I wasn't eligible because you have to work for 6 months.
Oh.
And I only worked for like 3,
Oh.
2, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't lose my disability, so that's the good thing.
Good.
So my budget right now, working part-time and getting my disability, like my disability pretty much pays for the rent, then I got $1,000 off.
So I missed my first meeting at the Kingdom Hall last week because I got my flu spray and it made me feel funky.
Flu spray or flu shot?
Spray.
What is that? What's flu spray?
It's a nasal vaccine.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
Yep, if you're afraid of needles, you can get that spray.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Do you?
It made you feel weird, huh?
Yeah. All right, so.
All right, well, I'm gonna get out of here.
Well, I'd like to talk some. Would you like to go to the Kingdom Hall again?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Because Ben Burke is there and he speaks quite a bit.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if I can sign on to all the beliefs. Like,
Oh, what do you mean by sign on?
I don't know if I believe that Jehovah God is gonna, like, there's gonna be Armageddon and then he's gonna resurrect everybody.
Yeah, there's going to be Armageddon and resurrecting. Not a lot of people are going to be resurrected.
But I'm just wondering how the heck is that gonna happen realistically? Because people are gonna be dead and gone. They're saying Noah, Moses, all those people are gonna be resurrected. They've been dead and their bodies have decomposed a long
Yep, they'll be resurrected.
long time ago. So how is that even gonna be possible? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta go to the bathroom, so I gotta get out of here.
Okay, well, it was nice talking to you.
You too, David. I'm gonna go out the back because you got the door open back here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let myself out of here in that.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna pigtail a solid wire. Yep, nice talking to you too. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna pigtail solid wire to hook up or out it again. Okay, so I'm gonna get a yellow wire now. Yellow. Get our insulation even at the bottom and our copper even at the top here like that. We'll stick our wire nut on here. We'll twist it on. Make sure our wire nuts are nice and tight. Do the same with our red. Make sure they're even like this. Get the copper even, insulation even here. Get our insulator, or get our wire nut. Get our insulation. Now I don't push down hard on the wire nut, I just turn it, let it, the spring bring all the strands in, so that way I don't mess up, push the strands down and mangle them all up. And then I don't have a good connection. And then I'll close the screws I'm not going to be using. Oh, wow. There's a break in the. Oh, see, it looks like somebody actually had cut the stranded wire there, so I gotta take that off. And cut it right there. And I'll just strip it back again. Get them lined up even like that. Get our wire nut on here. tight. Okay, we'll put our white wire around the silver screw. Make sure it's tight. Okay, so we get our, see if we get our wires to fit in here. We'll have to put our ground over here. Okay, so let's see if we can get this one. Get them to fit down up here, this one down here. There it is. Okay, now I'm gonna have to cut this screw really short because there's that wire nut back in there and I don't want to mash it. So I'm just gonna clip it really short here. And the wire nut's not forced. And that screw's not hitting a wire there. So I'm gonna stick our back on. And we're gonna go to a light switch now. The last one in this bit. Now this switch is broken, you see? It doesn't sound right. Hear this extra little click? Now this one has real old wire behind it. Okay, these are just backstabbed. Where is this twisted? I don't want to bend the insulation too much. One's going out. There's that one. It's not going to come, so. Just cut it. Don't frustrate, just cut it. Okay, we'll strip this a little bit longer here. I'll make sure you get all that fray off of there so you don't get that under your terminals. I'll take the clamp out of the back of the box here, the one that's not being used. Now I'm thinking this wiring is probably about 50, probably maybe 60, 50, 60 years old. Okay, so we'll just loop our wires the direction our screw turns. can't really get my pliers in there, but I got the loop closed a little better. Here we go, that's what we want. And now just push our wires back into our box. Listen to this switch. Listen to this one. So we're going to take this one out. And we're going to put a nice quiet one in here. See, this is a real, no, it's not a real old one, but maybe 10 years old. So we probably have some real old wire here. Yeah, very, very, very old wire. We'll just take the screw completely out. I might just have to snip the wire because it will be easier. Easiest is the best way. So, strip our clean wires here. We'll do the same over here. Get all our debris off. We'll close the ground screw we're not using here. So we'll put this one on the top. You don't want to bend this older wire very much because the rubber and the cloth is so brittle. There we go. That's the most copper because that's insulation is coming right up to the blue, and that's the most copper I want to have exposed. But I don't want to keep messing with this old wire because it's very brittle and it'll crumble. So I'll just screw it back in here. Okay, we got all the switches done. Now we're down to two more. One, two more outlets after I do this one. Now this outlet is new, so we're just going to look at the connections behind it here. This box is all loose too. So let's see what they have here. They have the older wire. Well, we can tighten this box up. There, it's nice and tight. And they have too many wires in here for this size wire nut. We're going to change and put the right size wire nut in here. Let's see what we got in here. Wow, look how uneven all those wires are. See, there's that, all that sticking up here. I'm not going to move this old wire down too much. I'm going to just take all these wires off of here. Which one is... used number 12, and this is all 14, so we'll put 14 on here so we're matching the wire that we're using. So straighten this wire out here. We'll shorten it up a little bit. Here's our black and our white here. We'll strip our tail wire here. We'll get our wires all the same length there. I'll shorten that up just a smidgen, but it's a little long. And we'll get these wires together. We'll get the strands all twisted together here. We'll split them off so they're all even here. So we'll get our two solids and our stranded wires all lined up and even here. Yeah, get all our copper even at the top there. Take my wire nut and just start turning it so it grabs all the wires. And I'm holding everything so that everything goes in nice and tight. And, oh, that just all came apart. This is our live wire here. So we'll take our outlet off of here for now. We'll get our black wire here. Our stranded wires are stripped a little short, so I'll strip them a little longer here. We're going to twist it together nice and tight here. We'll line them up here. Get our copper the same length here. They're all the same length. Okay, I'll just take a smidgen off of this one here. Okay, so we'll just get them all lined up here. Get all our copper even at the top here like this. Make sure they're all even. We'll just grab our wire nut and start turning it so that the spring grabs all the wires. And I hold my tails. There, nice even twist. We'll just tuck the older wires back in here so they don't crumble. Now we are ready to put our box back on here. Let me see if I can tighten the screw back here. If I can't, I can't. It looks like I can't, so I'm not, it's tight, so I'm not gonna disturb it. And this outlet was brand new, so we'll take the number 12s off of here and we'll just put our 14 on here. See, that was not a very good sized loop to get a good connection. And that was not a very good sized loop either. There's the white on the silver screw. Flip it around, we'll get our black on the brass colored screw. There it is. Make sure our copper's under the screw head all the way around and our insulation's not pinched. And now we can push it back into our box. Oh, this outlet's actually broken on the top here. And there's the back piece that broke right there. Okay, so we'll get our strands all twisted together here. So we'll put our white silver colored screw here. You always wrap your wire around the screw the direction that your screw turns. See how I'm holding the wire up here so it doesn't all fray out on me? So that's what we want right there. And I'll do the same with our red wire. Get it hooked under a little plastic hook here. Bring it around, make sure our insulation does not get caught under our screw head. See our insulation just above our screw head? That's where I want it. And see how I'm holding the wire like that? So that keeps it from moving around and fraying all over the place. And now we'll screw it